Hello, everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast is part of the Medulla Dossier series. This audio podcast is part of a Labostix Vortex. This audio podcast is part of the Bulletin Bric-and-Brac, and this audio podcast is part of the Storm Labostix production. This audio podcast will have a basis in around the sort of the initial works in around the Renal Patient Support Group, the RPSG. So the RPSG have been a voluntary social media platform, a voluntary social media platform developed or co-developed, developed and co-developed in around 2009 by three individuals. Um, three individuals. The initial the initial intention around the RPSG founders or co-developers was to support a fellow was to support those in around those suffering with varying forms of renal disease or kidney disease in the southwest in the southwest in the southwest part of England, United Kingdom, following routine outpatient appointments. The RPSG developers and co-developers were aware of the challenges to provide sort of face-to-face support by clinicians in the outpatient setting, owing to a limited time. The RPSG now has a growing population of at least when the peer review works and publication was published. The RPSG had in around just over 5,000 members sort of globally. Now sort of now more in more recent times, the understanding is the RPSG now has in excess of 10,000 members globally at various stages of CKD, and has around 10 members as part of the admin and moderating team from the United Kingdom, parts of Europe, and the United States, who also have, apart from admin and moderating sort of roles, also have various or several other sort of various others or several roles. So in addition, the RPSG has been inactive, sort of proactive in around aspects around healthcare research, with around 5 or 10 core group facilitators being active sort of researchers and investigators. The RPSG developers or co-developers explored several online platforms initially, and Facebook had been selected because it had been recognized as having sort of a global reach. Having global reach was accessible, generally user friendly, commonly utilized by a broad demographic, and allows a sharing of real time lived experiences. The RPSG offers online sort of peer support globally, with members in both sharing and caring role. The RPSG site has a number of sections or parts of which are well utilized by members. Amongst the number of activities, the RPSG has organized online learning education seminars inviting healthcare professionals and renal academics to contribute in for example, World Kidney Day in two two consecutive years, 2012 and 2013. And the growing membership of the RPSG demonstrates its accessibility outside the region of sort of local hospitals to which it had been initially sort of targeted. The RPSG reach has now extended beyond the United Kingdom to highlight a global community, allowing interaction in real time to educate people in around CKD and provide support and share answers. The RPSG developers or co-developers aim to empower people accessing specialist renal services to be sort of proactive in around kidney patient associations, kidney patient associations or KPAs, which support renal patients through their respective or regarding hospitals or trusts. In addition to the RPSG Facebook page, in March 2012, the RPSG set up a blog spot to inform members on up-to-date information gathered through activities such as seminars, conferences, and also where the blog spot or the blogger have become increasingly popular, sort of attracting healthcare professionals and researchers, academics to utilize the platform to also potentially recruit participants in around research which would ultimately help and be of advantage to patient care. So, for example, the RPSG research team had supported projects supported works for organizations including Renal Patient View or Patient View Now, and the National Kidney Federation retrospectively, and academics and academics and researchers in higher education in aspects around higher education. The next point, the next audio podcast will highlight a few more a few sort of RPSG specific based works. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast is part of the Medulla Dossier series. This audio podcast is part of Labostix Vortex. This audio podcast is part of the Bulletin Bric-and-Brac, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm Labostix production.